Peace. I come in the righteous name of Emir X. And today I'm going to be building on today's degrees. And today's degree is a knowledge cipher, which means 10. Not number one being knowledge. Knowledge is the foundation of all things in existence. Knowledge is gnosis. It's the sun is a foundation of soul system. That the Asiatic black man is a foundation of his family. Knowledge is a look, listen, observe. Knowledge is a first step towards righteousness. Number 0, knowledge at our cipher. Knowledge is the knowing, the know of one, the know must have this knowledge. Cipher is a complete circle consisting of 360 degrees of knowledge, wisdom, understanding, which is life. Right? That's 1 and that's 0. So today's degree or today's math is knowledge cipher. But before I get into my builds, I just want to continue with my introduction. But hopefully y'all been doing great, and also make sure that y'all keep on drinking your natural, keep on drinking your plenty of water. Keep on drinking good water, but don't drink no faucet water or no pipe water, right? That has very many negative benefits, and that's also how the Caucasian man, white man, or the devil. That's another way that he kill our people is through our water, right? As Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, he kill us off by area code, right? So there's different things which he do in tamper with your water, trying to kill us off, right? So that's why you have cases like Flint, Michigan, was going back all the way to the 1950s, and even before that, all the way up to present day, they don't have clean water, right? They have a whole bunch of poor quality water and all that. But even if you say, oh, I live in a place with high quality water, that's still, faucet water itself should not be consumed. Pipe water is very bad for you. We should be drinking different water than that. But let me break down the science of pipe water, because the thing is they put certain things like chemicals like fluoride and chlorine inside of the water, which should not be ingested. They teach the lie that fluoride is for your teeth, right? But you should not even putting it on your teeth. You're ingesting it, which will cause a lot of different problems within you. If you're a man, it's gonna kill your sperm, and it's gonna fuck up the your ability to have a baby and stuff. So that's gonna sterilize you and do different things like that. But also that chlorine, constantly drinking that is not good for you neither. And that's why they'll even say if you go to the dentist, they clean your teeth or whatever, give you a checkup. At the end, they'll put some fluoride on your teeth, and they tell you don't drink anything for 2 hours and for a certain amount of time, but don't drink anything, and also don't eat anything for like 4 hours, because you should not be ingesting this. I wouldn't even suggest for you to put it on your teeth, but that's what the dentist will even tell you. But the thing about it is a lot of these pipes, I can only speak for the area that I'm in, but in St. Paul public schools, a majority of the water pipes in the schools are old lead pipes that have not been replaced currently to this day. Even in newly renovated schools, they have, these areas where you find the schools, the areas where it's a large majority of brown, black, yellow, and red children in them areas who go to them schools in low priority or low poverty or high poverty rates, right? But you find in the schools where little kids drinking on the drinking fountains, they have lead pipes for that, and a lot of rusty pipes. And even in your regular pipes, these pipes are rusted and corroded, which is not good for you to be drinking. And they'll even tell you lead ain't good for you, right? Especially if it's on your water pipes, which are found in many schools in this area, which I'm in, St. Paul, Minnesota, right? So stay away from your faucet water, because even if you live in a so-called high-quality water, they still put in chemicals such as fluoride and chlorine and many other things. And a lot of these pipes is old and rusted, right? Even if it's not a cloudy water you're getting out the sink, it's still a bad water for you, no matter where you is, right? But the next best thing is or the best thing to have is natural spring water. So if you have access to a natural spring, get you water from there. That's the best way. That's ITAL water, which means natural water, right? But what you can do instead is also, I recommend get a faucet on your sink, because you still got to wash things like you still wash your rice and still wash your navy beans and stuff like that. So it's best to have a faucet on your sink. I don't have a faucet on my sink, but it's best for us to do that, right? And the next best thing you do for drinking water and cooking with water is bottled water, right? Get your bottled water. right? And there's 3 different types of bottled waters you'll find. There's purified water, distilled water, and spring water, right? The best is spring water, but get purified bottled water is, better than your faucet water. It might be sitting in a plastic container or whatever, but it's still the better option and better choice you can have. Always choose the best, eat the best thing that you got access to. If you don't have it, eat the best things you can, right? If you don't, you only got a cone to eat your cone and your cornbread. But when you have access, throw away that hard to digest stuff and have something good for you. But distilled water is the second best thing to get, and then the best, not the second best, but the second best out of bottled waters, and then the best is the natural spring, or not natural spring water, but bottled spring water. There's Ice Mountain spring water. There's many different ones. This brand is a spring water, but it ain't this type of water. I go to this one Asian grocery store, I get they spring waters, and I just pour the little bottles into the big bottle because I be going to work and that's what I use. But that's just a little brief part on the water. But peace. I start out my morning burning some incense. These ones from the UAE, right? United Arab Emirates, right? Have me some of that, and also have me drunk me my daily glass of ginger tea. And I like to brew that. Cut up pieces of ginger real very thin, and get you. I like to put some cinnamon. I use Celeon cinnamon, which is that Mexican flaky cinnamon. Has extra antioxidants compared to regular cinnamon, although regular cinnamon has good antioxidants. I also put cloves inside, which cloves are known to have antioxidants. I put a cardamom pod. I cannot speak on the benefits of the cardamom pod because I ain't researched that, right? But there may be some benefits there, but it gives a very good flavor to it. But ginger tea has lots of zinc and different vitamins, right? And ginger is good for your dick, and it's good for many different things within your body. It's also good for building up your immune system, and that's another thing. Also paired with lots of vitamin C and D. Whichever vitamins that you get from citruses like lemons and limes, drink you some lemon and lime juice. I don't mix it inside of my tea because the tea is hot, and I don't want to kill off any of the nutrients from the freshly squeezed fruit juice, right? But if you have some of your limes and that, it will build up your immune system, protect you against many viruses that go around, or many ailments, and also just protect and build up your body's immune system. So whatever, if there's a cold going, a flu going around, you're going to have, and build up your body's immune system. So there's very many benefits from ginger. So it's good to use a lot of ginger in your cooking, and also in if you boil it in the water and drink it, that's the ginger tea, right? And you can use different additives such as a burdock root, such as some sea moss gel, or some Irish moss if you got Irish moss, right? Whatever type of, right, sea moss, Irish moss, or Irish sea moss, right? Whichever one, because it's all different things. But they have very many benefits for your body, right? And I've heard that it's best to drink these things in the morning, such as ginger. Consume ginger in the morning. Obviously, we don't eat in the morning, but drink your tea. I would recommend that, right? But that's just a little bit of things that I want to share. Now, today's mathematics of nods out on cipher, or nod cipher, right? How do I see that? Right? Well, what does knowledge add on to the cipher, right? That's the foundation of the cipher. That's what the cipher is built off of, right? So just as whenever you come in a cipher, and that's also any person, place, or thing that exists within the boundaries of the universe. So the first thing we got to do is do the knowledge, because a cipher is a complete circle consisting of 360 degrees of knowledge, wisdom, understanding, which is life. Meaning, anywhere in life we go to, it's going to always be comprised of that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So applying mathematics to that and living it out, not just in studying our degrees. The reason we study our degrees is to gain an understanding so we can live our degrees out, right? But anything applies under these same laws, rules, and regulations of Islam in the universe, because the creator of the universe is Allah. Allah willed into existence of the universe, and Allah is the original main, and that's the Asiatic black main, the supreme being, or the black main of Asia, right? We was here before the planet Asia was even made, right? We was the one who made the earth, and the entire universe was made under these laws, rules, and regulations of mathematics. That's why mathematics is Islam, and Islam is mathematics, right? But following these degrees, right, or doing the knowledge. So look, listen, and observe, right? That's the first thing we should be doing. Whatever cipher. Let's say you get a new job. The best way to learn that, you can't come in speaking. You got to come in learning. Whenever you go amongst new people, the first thing you do, right, is the knowledge. So that's what's being added on to the cipher, and that's any person, place, or thing. So don't just do it when it's a God's building in a cipher, right? It's that type of cipher. God's in a cipher, building, doing the wisdom, right? And you just do knowledge. Then, right, just as we do the knowledge, then we have to do knowledge in the other places of our life. When you go into a job interview, look, listen, and observe first. When you right? That's any person, place, or thing that exists within the boundaries of the universe. And knowledge, wisdom, and this is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding in the complete circle of 360 degrees, or in a circle of 360 degrees of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Meaning this is what surrounds it, and that's life. So going throughout life, study your mathematics and apply your mathematics to your life. Study the laws, rules, and regulations of Islam, any of them, and you'll realize these are all practical life applications. Because we talking about doing for self, right? Everything that's been done came from a man. No spook or no mystery God. Now, today's uh, today's supreme alphabet is the 10th degree in today's supreme alphabet is number 10. J. Justice is a reward or penalty for one's actions or deeds, right? So it shows us that's a universal law, rule, and regulation right there. It's justice, right? That's a reward or penalty for one's actions or deeds, right? Will always be brought forth, right? Regardless of whom or what. I don't care who you are. You think you're gonna prevent justice? You ain't gonna do it for a long time, if you even do it at all. But today's degree of justice, that's number 10, right? That's a reward or penalty for one's actions or deeds, right? Which will always happen. That's a law, rule, and regulation. Whenever you try to prevent that, you're going against what's happening. Anything, you're going against everything. You're going against your nature, and you're going against the nature of the creator of the universe, which is your nature, right? Because that's self, right? No spook, no mystery. God created the sun, moon, and stars. A true and living God created the sun, moon, and stars. Who designed the earth? The black scientists designed the earth, also known as black gods, scientists of Islam, or gods of Islam, right? You dealing with high scientists, brothers who are well versed in their knowledges, and they all been adding on to the cipher, right? But we need that foundationalizing force, which is to look, listen, and observe. Don't come in trying to put the wisdom before the knowledge, or do and rearrange things, right? The entire universe is built on these principles, built on these laws, right? And one of the principles is the reward or penalty for one's actions and deeds, right? And I'll further that one once I get into my build a little more, or once I get to some more degrees, right? That's how I see that degree is. That's how I see today's degree in the supreme alphabet, and that's showing you whenever the result of what your action is going to be determined on that, either the reward or the penalty for your actions or your deeds, right? If you're going to do something, it's going to cause another thing, right? I'll further this once I get down the line some more. Now, today's 1 through 10, that's number 10, was a birth record of the mystery God's religion. Buddhism is 35,000 years old, and Christianity is 551 years old. I always remember that's how it's the beginning, must have an end. Another thing that I can add on about this is whenever this says Buddhism, it means polytheism also, right? So any of these things, Hinduism, whatever you want to call it, means polytheism, right? Saying there's multiple gods, and that's another spooky teaching, right? Saying that there ain't multiple, there's the original main, right? There's not the original main and the colored main, and then the water main, and then the wind man and the whatever the fuck. There ain't none of that shit. It's Allah is a God, right? One God. That's monotheistic. We're not saying that the black man is God, and then we saying that, oh, there's another God and there's a this. Nah, we talk about, we dealing with the original man. We dealing with one people, not a whole bunch of different this and that. You know, that's nothing but foolishness. That's polytheism, right? Which means Buddhism. But all these things, right? I see this degrees. It shows to us that if none of these things have longevity, they all have a limited time that they're going to be about. So anyone who's dealing in these different things, Christianity that teach a mystery God, Buddhism that teach that piece, that's polytheism, right? That teach multiple different gods. All these things have a birth record, right? You can track that down, you can identify, you can find it. Meaning they're going to have an ending. Anything as a beginning must have an end. I was physically born and I'll physically die. Right? Birth record. Black man has no birth record, but that doesn't mean I never was brought onto the earth. No, I was. But this degree shows us any of these things won't have true longevity and will only be allowed to be around for a limited time. So anyone who's inside of these different mystery God religions, right? They themselves and what they're doing will only have a limited time and will not have no real longevity, right? Won't have no real success. And we're dealing with the universe. The universe is infinite. And mathematics is also infinite. And mathematics is Islam, and Islam is mathematics. So everything that happens in this has to follow under these things. If it not, reward or penalty for one's actions or deeds, right? Either you're going to be rewarded with that longevity, and you'll see it within your works when you go and try to live our culture out, when you try to live your own culture out, not just ours, it's your culture, right? You the original man, right? But whenever you try to live our things out, you'll see if you're going to be successful, if you're not going to be successful, if you'll be rewarded, right? If we study our degrees with with sincerity, we'll be blessed with understanding and mental clarity. Right, but any of these things, if you on the Christian, if you coming under Christianity, you saying, oh, I'm going to the church, I'm making a Christian program, I'm making a Buddhist program, you ain't gonna have no real longevity. You only be around for limited, right? So don't believe in these things. Don't be fooled by these things, thinking they have no real power, because they have no real power. They have no real longevity. They only have a limited time. So don't be fooled and say, I think what they say, they make a pretty good case. Nah. They don't make a pretty good case. They've just tricked you and they've given you a limited knowledge, and they did what? Stray away from self. Look towards a mystery God to bring something. Don't look towards a true and living God. Don't look towards the Son of Man, who is self, right? Who was Master W.D. Farad, the most honorable Master W.D. Farad Muhammad? That was Mahdi, or God in person, right? Was he a white man? No. Was he a spook? No. He was a man. What did he do? Physical things, right? Not no spook. He wasn't a ghost. Elijah Muhammad didn't say, well, he didn't say that he felt Master Farad Muhammad and had a vision and brought no proof. Nah, he came and physically taught him. And he sent his messenger, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, to us to teach us. But he was a special type of messenger because he lived out the message with us, right? And lived out everything he said. Right? He didn't just give us the message and leave. He qualified us, and then he was able to leave after he qualified us, right? That's why he's allowed to die, right? He's not dead. He's not dead physically, right? And he's not positive. He's not dead mentally. His teachings, he's still alive within our minds in the works which he did, right? And what he boned. But he's physically dead. Don't say that he's alive somewhere. Now you get into a mystery, spooky teaching saying, oh, he's alive. He never said he's going to the mother plane. Because I know I've heard that before, saying, oh, he's on the mother plane. He died. You've seen his body. I didn't see his body. I wasn't there. I wasn't alive then. But I've seen his body. He was buried. He's dead. No such thing as coming back from a physical death. Has never been known to happen, right? But all these things, don't think that the devil has more power than God, right? Don't think that the colored man, white man, has more power than God, Allah, right? Don't think that these religions, and it's not even a cult, those are religions and you following them, right? So black men don't really even have a religion. We have a culture. Truly, it's our culture. It's Islam, right? But none of these things have true longevity. Whatever, if you're dealing in polytheism, which is looking outside of self, right? You've lost yourself. You make a tree into a god. You make a god out of this, a god out of that, right? You going around. Why is the 2 million Indians exiled from India 16,000 years ago for breaking the laws of Islam? Where do you find them? They're all the biggest polytheists and all of that. You find a lot of polytheism, right? It's exiled from India for breaking the laws of Islam. Exiled to the wilderness in North America, and that's how they got here. But today's 1 through 10, 1 through 14. Today's 1 through 14 is number 10. Why does Muhammad and any Muslim murder the devil? Was the duty of each Muslim in regards to four devils, and what reward does a Muslim receive by presenting the four devils at one time? Answer: because he is 100% wicked and will not keep and obey the laws of Islam. His ways and actions are like a snake of the grab the type. So Muhammad learned that he cannot reform the devil, so they had to be murdered. All Muslims will murder the devil because they know he's a snake, and also if he be allowed to live, he will stain someone else. Each Muslim is required to bring four devils, and by bringing a percent of four at one time, his reward is a button to wear on the lapel of his coat. Also a free transportation opposite of Mecca to see brother Muhammad, right? How do I see that degree? That degree shows us that, well, it asks you, why does Muhammad and any Muslim murder the devil, right? What's our duty, right? We supposed to bring and kill four devils, right? That's living out your culture, because culture is number 4, right? That's living out your culture. That's living out by actions, right? In order to get the lapel pin, right? And that's the sun, moon, and star. That's the universe. That's freedom, justice, and equality, right? You have to earn it. You have to earn it by living out your culture. And why do we kill the devil, right? Because this gonna go back to I'm gonna connect this to the knowledge cipher degree, or the 10th degree in the supreme alphabet. But right, why do we have to kill the devil? Because he's a snake of the grafted type, and he'd be allowed to live, he would stain someone else, right? That shows us that wherever, and this is going back to justice, number 10, justice is a reward or penalty for one's actions or deeds, right? And going back to that shows us that any action or inaction will always cause a reaction, right? And that's truth, because if you sit there idly by and you just watch something happen, you still responsible. So even by you doing nothing, you will still cause a reaction. If we don't kill the devil, he gonna go out and stain someone else. So it shows us accountability, right? This shows us that's another way that I see today's degree in the supreme alphabet, the 10th degree, is accountability, right? Self-accountability. But we dealing with the devil right now. So let me go back to that, right? So they had to kill the devil, because if he be allowed to live, he would stain someone else, right? So if any devilish mint is allowed to live and we don't do nothing about it, we still causing that to happen. And don't think you're gonna escape that. It's like if you always around your brother, your close an original man, right? You always around him, or original woman, right? You see them, they're about to eat some pork, and they're always eating pork. If you don't educate them and teach them the knowledge, wisdom, understanding on that, right? And you just sitting there, you sitting, you don't ever say a word. They offer you something, oh no, I'm not hungry. You don't even say, oh, I don't eat pork. Oh, I'm not hungry, right? That's you allowing that to be stung, right? So if we ever identify this stuff and come amongst it, we got to run it out. Not saying you always just got to be seeking out something, right? We have to be seeking out our brothers and sisters to teach them. But when we come in contact with these things, we have to make sure it makes, and if we get word that the devilishment's around, right? We have to take these things out. And they can't be allowed to live because it'll stain someone else, right? So if devilishment's allowed to live, or allowed to be someone, it might go out and affect someone else. So if you see someone, if any of us is teaching incorrectly, or being a hypocrite, or trying to deceive someone, and you let that person be, or if you see someone who doesn't have, even if I don't have it right, and someone seen me and they didn't teach me, and I went out, I kept teaching them wrong and teaching them wrong and teaching them wrong, right? Well, I'm not going to use that as an example. I always have to hold myself accountable. I ain't going to blame nobody but myself, right? But if we see someone going out, they're not teaching correctly, and we don't correct that, right? If you don't not accountable for them, then they might go out keeping teaching other people wrong, right? That's allowing devilishment to live, and that's staying someone else. If you see someone getting blood sucked, you see original woman, and she's like, oh, she's attracted to the white man, the colored man, and you just letting her all, and you're not telling them nothing about that, right? That's allowing them to get stung by that. If you know someone who's going around, you don't kill that devilishment. That devilishment's finna be uh liable to go out and stain someone else. So we have to go out and make an action. We can't sit idly by. The time for sitting idly by, we've been sitting down for too long. We got to stand up and we got to have our actions and accountability. So we have to seek out to teach. And if we ever identify any devilishment, we got to make sure to eliminate that devilishment by teaching our brothers and sisters and by killing them faux devils. Just like how Muhammad and any Muslim had to do, and the Muslims back in the day. That's what they had to do. So we gotta do the same thing, right? If we see any of this devilishment, we can't be allowed that shit to live, right? We can't just pick up the snake, throw it off, right? What is he gonna do? He's gonna slither back in someone else's backyard. You gotta kill the snake, right? So we gotta kill the devilishment. Don't allow that to live. And what's today's mathematics in the or today's degree, pardon self. Today's the knowledge cipher degree in the 1 through 40 is number 10. Who is that mystery God? Answer: there's not a mystery God. The Son of Man is searched for that mystery God for trillions of years and was able to find a mystery God. So they have agreed that the only God is the Son of Man. So they lose no time in searching for that which does not exist. Right? This brings you to the reality of this. There's no such thing as a spooky or mystery God. That's untrue. Right? And one, the Son of Man search for that mystery God, talking about yourself. We've searched for that mystery God for trillions of years, right? And was unable to find the mystery God. And most of us ain't even spend a day searching for that mystery God. You just accepted that on face value. We didn't even look for him, right? Because if you look for him, you can't find him. You won't find him. Right? You didn't even look for him for a day. Why are you dealing in these mystery God religions? What's the birth record of the mystery God's religion? They got a birth, they have a death. Islam has no birth record. The black man has no birth record. They won't have a death, but you certainly will have a death if you follow them, because you have a physical death, and they also gonna have a death of their religions, right? And if you relying on a mystery God for something to happen, you will not have no longevity. Also, you know, so we have to go out and do for self. Don't sit here and pray and then sit in your house. You ain't gonna get no damn food that way. You ain't gonna get nothing that way. You gotta pray to a mystery God. You better pray to the true and living God, right? And pray in the correct way. Don't ask Jesus, who's been dead for over 2,000 years. Don't ask him for something, because nothing's gonna happen, right? But who is that mystery God? It's saying don't look for something that's not there, right? Don't try to make something out of nothing. You can't do what? There's nothing there, right? We dealing with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. That's substance. That's something there. We dealing with mathematics. That's something there, right? So it shows us that we have to stop looking for no foolishness. Stop trying to make something out of nothing and go out to what is. What has been shown and proven. What is known to be right and exact. And then follow that. And you'll know everything is prophesied to come. It's already been coming to pass. So all that other stuff, I already can tell and we can prove this because there's substance there. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So if we do our research, if we look, listen, observe in the cipher, we'll gain the knowledge and wisdom and bring ourselves to an understanding. Now, that degree in the 1 through 14s, don't look for nothing that's not there. Don't, right? Just deal with what we have, right? And if anything devilish comes around and tries to say otherwise, run that devil out and kill that devil, right? Don't allow him to keep on being around, going and teaching, right? So hold everybody accountable, right? Don't just give him no excuse and all whatever, pay him no mind, right? Because if we try to pretend something isn't there, that doesn't eliminate the fact that it's there or not, right? It's like, oh, I'm gonna pretend like my car, there ain't a problem with it, but if I keep driving it and my tire's flat and I blow a flat in my on the road and that flat tire, fucking bust out and I get into a crash, that's still gonna affect you. So if you're trying to say, oh, there's a mystery God, I'm gonna be safe, you're not gonna be safe. If we say, oh, I'm if you're just telling yourself you're doing good, right? You're not actually doing good, you're not actually doing something, then you won't be getting to nowhere, right? and it's still gonna happen and affect you anyway. So we have to open up our eyes, stop looking for no mysteries, and point ourselves up in a upwards direction and face towards the east, just like how you doing in the prayer service, right? And raise your self confidence, your self esteem, and you'll get fearlessness, complete lack of grievance, and peace of mind and contentment, right? What's the 10th degree in the in the one through in the one through in the 1 through 36? That's number 10. Why does number 10? Why does what am I talking about? Number 10. Because the devil taught to eat the wrong kind of foods, right? So what's the wrong kind of food, right? We've been eating, just like I said, we've been drinking all this water with the poison inside of it, and now we're eating a pig, which is another poison. So our eating unhealthily, right? Our eating the incorrect foods. That's inhibiting our mental power. That inhibits your mental power. You can only reach a certain level. So just as if you eating one meal a day, if you truly believe you're gonna pass out, you won't have enough food or whatever, then you is gonna pass. You're gonna lose weight or whatever. That's eating the wrong physical food, right? And it's gonna have an effect on your mental. So also having the wrong food, that's Christianity. That's mystery God teachings, right? That's spookisms. A Christian is the most scary person you'll ever find. They even more scary than a disbeliever in Islam or someone who don't accept and they reject it, right? They always constantly scared of something that's gonna happen, right? They're scared of this, they scared of that, right? Islam give you contentment. So you got to realize, because the devil taught them to eat the wrong kind of food. So everything we've been taught from him has poisoned us, right? You drink your water, that's poisoning you. So that's why we afraid of that's why that's why we fear the devil. Now he's a big man, is because we been taught to eat the wrong kind of food. That's Christianity. That's his mystery spookism teachings, right? They're nothing, which is nothing but slavery teachings, right? So we gotta hold the devil accountable and kill him, right? Kill that devilish man inside your head. Take that shit out and throw it out. Now, the eating the incorrect food will do a lot of things to you. So eat healthily, right? And have the knowledge, wisdom, understanding of the original family of the planet Earth, right? That's self. But the video's finna be, I'm running out of time, so I just want to close this out. But make sure that y'all keep reading and y'all get your books, right? That's where you'll learn a lot from. And I'm just doing to the best of my ability to add on to the cipher what I have to know and understand, right? But everything I'm taught, right? Get your books, right? This is a book right here, The Fall of America. Read your newspapers, right? There's the Final Call newspaper. What does it say? Final Call newspaper, right? Nation Islam. Get some of that, right? Get your teachings, right? The teachings. This Father Allah, right? In books, right? Get these things. And I'm gonna put, right? Reading is very essential and vital to us. So we have to go out and read our books. And I'm gonna put inside the description links to where you can get the books at. And peace.